What's up, everybody? My name is Xavier. I'm currently crouched on top of the roof here at the photo house, which will come into play kind of further down the road once you guys see what we shot up here the other day. Speaking of what we shot up here the other day, it was a music video from my good friend Demasio, a Southwest Detroit legend, a muralist, a visual artist, a painter, a musician, an amazing rapper and producer, and of course, more than all of that, a great friend. We actually shot a music video for his band Sunfire, who have a project coming out, I think, in the next couple days or so. So you guys will hear that and then see it a little later. But I'm recording this right now just as an intro because me and him sat down for about an hour and chopped it up on my scuffed, thinly veiled attempt at making a podcast again. Enough of you guys liked the atrocious episode that I tried to piece together with Curtis. So I decided to do it again. So, this is what this is, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy all the other stuff that we've got coming your way. So, see you guys.
How long this roach been in there? My bad, go ahead. Do you think?
Oh, I mean, probably forever. The cigarettes aren't, nothing in there is ever mine. That's like my favorite part.
That's tough.
They
come from around the world.
Yeah, I'm being hospitable. You know what I mean? I'm like, people are going to smoke. Not me, but they will. I can. It's not that I'm incapable of smoking. Yeah. It's just, How are you?
Good. Man, I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that I'm in charge of. So
yeah, this is Demasio for the uninitiated.
Yeah. That's tough, the uninitiated.
Yeah. Well, because I did. I used to do this, years ago, and then.
Shout out to all my initiates.
I used to do this years ago, and then COVID happened and a bunch of health shit happened, and I stopped. But they were always it was Andre, or it was people that I've known, and that in my head, anyone that would actually listen to this probably already knows to some capacity. Okay. But ideally, right? People who have no idea who you are would eventually stumble upon this.
And I think people do. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that you know that I don't know.
Of course.
Or that don't know that I don't know that they know.
We've known each other for a while, though.
Yes, sir.
Do you? I'm curious your version of the story, because you were obviously older, so you probably remember stuff that I don't.
Of you?
Of us, of knowing one another.
Yeah. From elementary school. You were in my brother's class, and I'm talking about you was in his class third, second grade type shit. You was a baby, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Super baby. I remember Alex used to chill with you, kick with you. But I remember you in class. You was just a good kid, man, and you know what I'm saying, you just always had a positive, aura about you.
I appreciate that. I knew Alex from elementary school. I did not know y'all were related until. I have a very vivid memory of going to Dave & Buster's for one of his birthday parties.
And I was there?
Yes.
That's tough.
And
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that very, very distinctly. But that's obviously not the bulk of us knowing each other or actually being friends or working together or anything like that. Do you remember that time?
I remember the first day you pulled up the bag.
Okay.
And you was walking back and forth. You didn't know. Yeah, I got a photographic memory, bro. And I remember you had the camera around your neck and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I remember you coming in. I remember when you walked past. I'm like, oh yeah, I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? That. I recognized you instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just so happened you was there to meet up with Ray and stuff because you was in school at the time as a Spartan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I remember because. In college, I did more poetry stuff, before the photography and all that stuff. And I opened for a show that you, Reyes, and K1 were the headliners for.
Damn. I don't remember this.
Yeah. So we were at State. I performed. I hung around because I knew some of the other people. And I was like, oh, wow. Those guys were really cool. They're funny. That was dope. I went up. I bought a shirt. I bought the Deepest Yellows t-shirt, which I still have.
That's tough.
And then you kind of recognized me, and I was kind of recognizing you, and I didn't put it together until way after the fact. I was like, oh, I've known him for years, for a long time.
That's a trip, because you used to stay on West Grand Boulevard, right?
When?
Elementary school days.
No, I was right over here on like Ferdinand, off like
Okay.
right off Werner, like so I was already in that area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was what was so trippy about meeting you guys at that time, because I had been so like trained that like you got to get out, you got to go to school somewhere else, you got to go
Yeah.
do stuff outside of the city. And I was like, oh wait, there's like people where I grew up like doing stuff that I think is cool or doing. You know what I mean?
No, that's real. Because we was right down the
literally.
and still in the area.
Oh, I could have stumbled upon you guys like not in Lansing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's
Right.
like the funny,
That's tough.
trippy part.
And then to know, like, for those who don't know, Webster, that's the elementary school
Yeah.
that we went to, is right in that vicinity as well.
Mhm.
It's right down the street.
Oh, it's all very.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the radius is not that far.
Sometimes
of, like
I feel like I can't escape Clark Park.
that's.
You know what I'm saying? like it's like a Twilight Zone.
It's got like a gravitational pull.
Because
that's
I'm
just,
still
like,
around, you know what I'm
that's
saying?
so
Like,
real,
and
though.
even though too, like when I was younger, like I lived over there on Michigan McGraw area.
Yeah.
You know, that's on the other side of the tracks. I was
Mhm.
only over there because my grandfather was the principal.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I've always been around there, even though I'm not even from over there
Yeah.
for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've always had like this gravitational pull. And guess what? Every morning, where am I running? You know what I'm saying? Like where am I at? You feel me?
No,
Motherfucking Clark
I
Park.
mean, again, I grew up like I forget what it's on Scotton. It's like if you go down Scotton towards like Michigan Avenue, there's like a duplex apartment house
like,
thing.
by Toledo.
Yeah, near Toledo, right next to that little like Mexican market that
Okay,
they got
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Apparently that was like my first house, apparently, when I was
Okay.
like super young. So from there to like Ferdinand and Werner. And then like when I obviously went away to school. When I went away, my parents moved to Taylor and all that shit.
Yeah.
But so to do all of that and then still come back to the same
Right.
like, you know,
I mean,
it's-
even right
it's
now,
pretty-
we're not that far.
Oh no, I
You
could
know what I'm
walk there.
saying?
I could
Yeah,
walk
we're
there
definitely down the street.
easily. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, but it's going to show you too, like how strong the community is. You know what I'm saying? Like we do all this shit, and we still around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's powerful in itself.
Well, I mean, it's also like, I don't know, it feels different than the rest of the city, and really than a lot of other places. And obviously, like I could be biased, you know, because it's home and stuff.
Yeah.
But it does keep you around, and not. I mean, for some people, maybe not in a good way, but like
Right.
I think for us, like it has been.
No, yeah,
Positive.
it's been a fucking blessing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like for real. It's just that energy over there. But too is like it's like such like a neutral ground for like everywhere in Detroit.
Right.
You feel me? Like, cause it's like on the border of Mexican town
Mhm,
and all
mhm.
that shit. So it's a great space to
Yeah.
be in. Like if you can find a pocket.
For sure. Yeah. No, it's as good a pocket as I can't imagine being from anywhere else.
Right.
Genuinely.
Even if I think about everywhere else, I'm like, damn, it's like where we at, it's like it's still hood and it's still sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like anywhere you go, it's a little bit more of both, or you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah.
Well, we've also like it's like it's obviously been changing, like it's been changing for a long time, but it's been delayed in a way that I
Yeah.
think still keeps it kind of like homey. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
no, that's real. Cause even like I'm playing ball there every day. You know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? And it's like it's just good people that you tell from the
Mhm.
neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Gabe's uncle be up there. You feel me? Like shout out Silverso. If you don't know Silverso, look him up on YouTube. He's a Chilean rapper. He's cold. You know what I'm saying? Like super dope. But he's from the neighborhood. He's from you know what I'm saying around. Be playing ball up there too. That'd be a cool person to have on here.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I wanna get like, I just want to start with everyone super close and then just slowly keep building it out, because
Yeah.
it's I don't know, man. I was telling, so the first person in this like new period of me doing this, I did one with Curtis, which was like great, except for the fact that I never recorded the audio,
Oh,
except for
wow.
like the last. But amazing, the conversation was so good
Yeah.
that I have like devised a way to like salvage it somehow. It'll come out like
Yeah.
before this, presumably. But
That's tough.
I was just telling him, I was like, dude, like it's very rare, and we've been having this conversation with fucking chess and other random shit. Like it's very rare that you just sit across from someone for like a committed period of time and then like have a conversation. You know?
Yeah.
Everything is very like in passing. It's kind of online. It's very like
It's very like in the rush. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, and like non-committal. Like there's no like, oh, this will be like 10 seconds and then I'm out. Like there's no like, hey, like for this chunk of time, let's
Right.
just like talk or like
And
sit in front of each
and
other.
focus on
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So
I feel that.
yeah, I mean I think that's why I've always kind of enjoyed this kind of thing because it's somehow it's a thing that happens less. Like you would think like with the internet and phones and everything that we'd have like way better conversations, but like we
But no.
not yeah,
Right.
not for real.
On the real, we getting the fuck on.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm
100%.
saying? Like
Yeah.
what I feel like. Oh man, that's why I like. You ever seen them fucking? It's like a couch that was in the '70s that was inside the.
Oh yeah, like the conversation pit
Yes,
shit.
I want
Yes.
some. I want something
Dude,
like
those are
that. No
sick.
TV and
Yeah,
there's a vibe
yeah.
downstairs. You got a record player. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
shit like that.
That's like I don't know. And I feel like that is a feeling that I keep hearing more from
Mm.
other people. Like I think people our age, people in the scene, people that go out, whatever, like are kind of tired of
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? Of like
disconnect of it's just like it's just really like just
Yeah,
bonding.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I think that's
It's-
real. I think too, man. Like us just being like fucking like almost like we kind of became like social butterflies in
Mhm,
in a sense of going out into the world. You know what I'm saying? Has like helped us realize that this shit is what means the most. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
all the other shit is a byproduct, but really like sitting down and talking is what's gonna like strengthen the relationships.
No, I mean there's like the community that we have, like whether it's Bagley or Southwest in general or Detroit in general, I think like it's given us a value for like in-person shit that I think a
Yeah.
lot of other people don't have. Like they don't have that. People come up from like fucked up homes and you know, they get like going out is complicated. Like I get all that. But we're kind of fortunate to have like a consistent basis of like people to be around like in person
Yeah.
that I think it one yes makes you like just better in like some of those social situations, but like it makes you know, like you said, like that's the shit that actually fucking matters or that like feels good to like invest time into. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And grow. And
Yeah.
just like just be in the moment.
No, 100%.
Yeah, man. No, that shit is a fucking teach you how to move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm curious, and we can
yeah.
you know we can have this because again, it's always such a trip to me that you're a father because again,
No,
I've
for
known
real.
you for so long, you know,
Yeah.
and like we're close enough in age that it's like, oh fuck, that's right, that's what happens, you know.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I mean, one obviously of you know about your family and your life and everything, but I'm curious like what we're talking about right now, just in terms of like being in the moment, being
Yeah.
present, having these conversations. I'm sure that's got to mean something totally different having kids. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like
feel like you can't miss no moments. You know what I'm saying? Like everything gotta be very strategic. Just even the taking time to like just be with my fam. You know what I mean? Like as much as everything has to be strategic in a way that I have to provide for my family, and I gotta make sure that they good. You know what I mean? I gotta take that time. It's like, all right, I could do this, I could do that. I know I could do that in the morning. I wake up early anyways. You feel me? Let me just spend some time with my kids. You know what I'm saying? My wife, and just be there. You know what I mean? So like even before that, today, right now, I got a lot of stuff I gotta do. You know what I mean? Set up and stuff like that, and just like run the night and stuff, and just make sure that that the show goes smooth. But I also gonna take this time to real quick kick it with them. So
yeah. Okay, so today, obviously, this will be like past tense when this comes out. But
Yeah.
what are we doing today? Talk about what you've been doing, like
Yeah.
at the house and just lately.
So we're doing the Nonstop Show, and it's a showcase that happens every month that champions local Detroit artists in a sense of that we just coming together and just you know what I mean, giving our attention, our support to something that's like being consistent, and then we have the cipher attached to it, which is like the perfect just the perfect like catalyst for the show because it just involves everybody's energy and it just feels like you're just on like a fucking ride, a nonstop ride. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. It became a thing where I was like, man, I just have to push myself to produce a show a month. You know what I mean? And just get into the habit of doing that and figuring out the do's and don'ts and what I can do day of, what I should be doing a month and a half out, you know? So, and it's just learning still too and just building relationships and watching of the shows and shit. So the nonstop show is just that, man. It's just a constant, you know what I'm saying, like changing system, and that's what we on tonight.
The I'm curious, like, because obviously, I think recently you've kind of grown into more of like a curator, like you're putting things together, you're putting lineups together, you're hosting things a lot more. But obviously, like you still do your own stuff, visual art, music. I'm curious, like, do you think, like, like putting a show together?
Uh-huh.
Do you think you're better at it because you're an artist? Do you think putting a show together makes you a better artist? Do they feed into each other?
Yeah, it's everything. I had to come to understand, like, everything I do is gonna feed into, you know what I'm saying, like, to everything in every aspect. So it's there's me rapping, um, reaching out to artists, putting this together, you know what I'm saying? Like reaching out to people, being out there. So I'm telling people, you know what I mean? It just makes you all a well-rounded artist. I think at a point, all artists should be like producing their own events. Cause it's like, that's where you're gonna make the most money too. You know, like figuring out how to do that shit and learning how to deal with different companies, different businesses, different residencies, you know? Yeah, so I think I don't know, man. I do understand that, and that's why I push myself to do it once a month because it is like such a challenge that that really takes like all of my artistry to put together.
The like, how do you balance trying to highlight your work and put other people on, or like put other people in a position to?
I feel like I just gotta naturally be me and just be there. I don't have to be, you know what I'm saying, like Demasio, you know what I'm saying, this, that. No, I'm just here. I'm already got the mic, you feel me? Like, so what else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. So I think that is the best thing, is just learning that. You know what I mean? Like, just being myself. I don't have to be in the front. These artists are the ones we here for, you know what I mean? Like,
there's also too like a security that comes with knowing that, like, well, I put this together. Like, I'm inherently integral to the, because it's mine. You know what I mean? Like, they're
and it's cool because it's like, it's just it's like, all right, I just learn how to like put together a business. You know what I'm saying? And what's real? What can you really do? You know what I'm saying? And what can you push yourself to do more of?
What do you think? Like, what do you think is the parts of your art, and we can get into like just art in general a bit more, but like, again, in recent years, because I think everyone probably notices and maybe mentions it to you in different ways, like in a good way, that like you have clearly grown and like matured in, I think, a lot of the things that you do in the like areas that you kind of exist in and shit. How do you like? Are you aware? Like, how do you feel like you've changed? Like, because I mean, again, like when me and Curtis were talking, he was talking about like the Deepest Yellow shit, like way, like again, super way back. And like, we're fortunate that we live in a time where like we've got all the photos and all the videos, and you know, you have left things from those time periods, songs, murals, paintings. Like, how do you feel you've grown or changed, like from wherever you started to where you're at now?
I think I just embraced the just going and not looking back. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing. Is like surrendering to you know what I'm saying, what I feel like is the right path, and just going full hearted. I changed a lot since like the Deepest Yellows and shit. I'm obviously a father and shit like that, and I'm a husband, and I think not only that is like I'm running, like putting together a company that is like something that is unique, you know what I'm saying, in a sense where I can bring people together and still produce crazy art events. Just embracing the jumping forward and pushing myself to be the best I can, I think is the biggest thing. Like I'm hard on myself, but it's like for a good reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think like there's very clearly like again, like a seriousness in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, I think, you know, like, well, this is what I want to do with my life, and my life is serious. You know what I mean? It's like you get one. Like,
and it's like time goes like this, man. Especially having kids, bro. Like time moves so fast.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. I'm 28 now. You know what I'm saying? I've heard in different areas that a man's prime is from 28 to 35.
Uh-huh.
You feel me? So, all right, I'm right here, right now. I feel like I'm more conscious of every minute of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I wake up early. If I decide to like go back to sleep, you know what I'm saying? I'm so fucking like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it
yeah.
happened. You know what I mean? And but it's like I'm just like real just conscious of like where I'm spending my energy in. Because
Well, and
I understand. I see how much if you push out, how much it could come back. You know what I'm saying?
and there's also like people relying on.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what
like
I mean?
real
Like,
stakes. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No,
So it's like
there's it matters that you like checked the boxes for the day, or that you like accomplished what you
for
wanted to
real.
accomplish.
And
You
just betting it on me, man. You know what I mean? Like just like investing in myself. Like it's a sometimes it's like it's scary, but you just gotta.
know? Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what it feels like. It just feels like you've really like doubled down on like what like this is my purpose. This is the stuff that
this
I
is
love.
what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can see like there's a way where I can make money, and then there's like everybody can have a great experience as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just doing it like with good intention. You know what I'm saying? This shit gonna take a minute to build. You know? So I'm cool with that.
What's the last like regular job you had?
I was working at Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
man,
was
I had
that?
to give into that. It was cool. I just that shit made me realize though, because I was there for like fucking 8 hours scanning. Bro, what am I doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
nothing will make you appreciate time like working a job you hate.
Like,
you know,
bro, I'm like, what am I doing for real, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? I know I can make so much more just pushing my shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's the art world is like the most unregulated industry.
it's like that's just like drug dealing,
bro. Like, it's like there's no rules, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally game. You know what I'm saying? Like, come up with a good ass like sketch or print or some shit. Make 100 of them. Be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's say if you, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can break it down. Yeah, I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying, spill it out.
Of course.
But in so many ways, you feel me? That's why I'm like, bro, just go hard. And then there's so many markets that people don't even know about you. So you still brand new. So imagine when you like just came out, you know what I'm saying? How fresh you felt, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta keep on going, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on.
Yeah. When do you think like when do you think you realized you could do that? Because I think everybody thinks they can. Like every artist or everybody who's even got an interest or a hobby thinks like that could be me. Like whatever. When do you think like you realize like, oh wait, no, like that I really could. Like I
think just selling paintings, you know what I mean? Like at these events, I'm like, damn, I sold this. And some people want it for exactly what you price it for. Some people don't. But just like continuously doing that and be like, look, I made 500 this weekend. That's a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I find the right spots to be at, you know what I mean? The money gonna come.
Do you remember the first painting you sold, or like the first few, or you know?
Yeah. One was this one called God is Rebellion, and it's like a rock person with his hand up, and I think like Vicky and them bought it. You know what I'm saying, down in Texas, but they were up here, and that was a good size painting. I'm like, I don't know, man. I just was like feeling it. I was like, I could, but I think the biggest thing is like me being able to do the murals. You know what I'm saying? Like me being able to paint that big helps me a lot because then that's kind of like a skill that's very like select. You know what I mean? Like you really got to push yourself to learn how to do shit on a grander scale. So I think that's a big part of why, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to do this shit full time. It's because I'm doing murals as well.
Yeah. What was that like transition? Like what came first in terms of like the paint? Like how'd you get to murals? How'd you get there?
I was painting on my mom's garage over there off of Turnus. And and then I would go out and paint too. And seeing that you can make money off of this shit, painting like on a canvas and like, well, I could paint big. I just took a job. I took a job that paid like really didn't pay me nothing. At the time, it didn't matter. Like they bought the paint. Like that was rich. You feel me? Like you buying the paint.
Yeah.
You feel me?
To
Like
cover supplies is like amazing.
you feel me? So I'm like bet. And I did a long thing. They knew what they were doing too. You know what I'm saying? I was just so
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was such a great opportunity, bro, because like it's still up, it's still staying strong. It's not really done, but it's still like, you know what I'm saying, gets looked after.
Which one is that?
On Junction.
Okay, yeah.
And that was like the first one, you know what I'm saying? And that shit helped me a lot because one, it showed me that I could paint that big, that's to that scale, and people like it, and that I did it for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So imagine I got 4,000, I got 5,000 to work with.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We could do something crazy. Like, so I think that's it too. Like I wanna push myself to just go bigger and find the jobs too. And I think the biggest thing was forcing myself to be like, look, I'm gonna figure this out like this. Because if I always go back to Amazon, I'm never gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna figure it, like there has to be a way. So if I push myself, you know what I mean? Like, and really like push yourself. Because if you think shit's sweet, it could change drastically fast. You know? So I think that's the reality too. Like you can't let this shit slip.
Yeah.
Like go hard.
I think it's just super easy to it's the struggle that I always have like internally. Because again, I've done freelance stuff. I've worked like, you know, regular normal jobs that are still like creative, fortunately. Like I'm very, you know, grateful for that. And again, fortunate to like have had those opportunities. But there's always that like gnawing feeling, you know, where it's like, yeah, I know like I could do this or like I could do what I'm thinking I can do. But it's so easy to do anything else. You know what I mean? Because I think like we're so like taught not to bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Like
and it's like it's forbidden.
Yeah. 100%.
It's suicide.
It's you think about every like aunt and uncle and parent like go to school, get a job. Like no one's ever told you like and it's so funny that that's like the joke, right? You could be anything you want. But like no one's ever really like very few people have told you that seriously. You know what I mean?
Believe
like,
in themselves.
Right. And that's the other thing too, right? Like so many people are telling you that, but like deep down are like, but please just like go work at like an office somewhere. You know what I mean? And so yeah, there's like this. It's fucking hard. It's hard to like, oh, I'm just gonna do that until it works. Yeah. You know?
It's like you almost have to believe that you just gotta trust, man. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just trusting in your work.
You gotta be like a little crazy. Like
yeah, you have to because you gotta be the most realist person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I feel like that's another thing. It's like, all right, can you really do it? Can you bring this into the physical world? Like that was matters the most. So can you really do that shit? You gotta be crazy to do it. Like to think about that, bro, is like to really like conjure shit up over time that takes form. You feel me?
Well, that's the trippy part about just being an artist it is like a direct act of creating something, you know?
Like pyramid type shit.
I mean, it is though. It's in direct conversation with everyone that's ever made anything before. You know what I mean? And anybody that'll make like you. Right. It's a continuing process.
Like you're talking ahead of you. Mm-hmm. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. It's I like because I feel this way often. Like again, what you're saying about like that urge to like, no, you got to bet on yourself. You got to make it work. Like, you ever have an idea and then you don't do anything with it, and then someone else has the same idea and then they do something with it? I think, like, it's an old saying. I don't know where it comes from, but just this idea that like all ideas and all creativity is like the same river, you know? And like if you don't scoop your chunk out when it comes to you, it'll just keep going on and find the next person that will like do something with it, you know?
No, that's right.
And it's cool. It's cool to know that source is always going, you know, but there's like an urgency. Like you only got so much time to like fuck around
to do it,
you know?
And even like it don't matter if like only 100 people come, you know what I'm saying? Like just doing it is like the biggest reward, because what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like what we do it's special because we really bring people together. I feel like that shit is powerful. You know what I mean? So just being mindful of that shit.
Yeah. What are you religious?
Man, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like I believe in there's a higher power,
Mhm.
but it's just like following books is not for me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think in that sense, like it's verbatim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you see how I'm going about it? You
Of
feel
course.
me? Like I gotta be
Of course.
real select.
Yeah. You got to.
But I understand the message in the story.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, again, I grew up,
yeah,
as religious as people get, but I just because I always feel like even for the most non-religious person, I think anyone that approaches like art with any level of like seriousness or care, like they speak about it in a very like almost religious, because it's a faith based that you believe that you can make something. You know what I mean? Like you are inherently believing in like this thing that weirdly exists outside of yourself. You know what I mean?
I think it's like it plays into
strange.
the as above, so below type shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the same way we feel, the same way I feel about I could create this. You know what I'm saying? Then everything was created. You know what I mean? And there's a good ass like quote I saw that really changed my perspective. Is it was a picture of stones that made an image on the beach, and it said we can't believe that all these stones just wrote in here, or we could believe that this picture was framed by another being. You know what I'm saying? Like in a sense of like shit could be so perfect that that we could just be reflections of it, of our mind. You know what I'm saying? In a deep sense. But I think like I really feel like how you feel inside is how the world reflects, and so working with yourself is the biggest. To reflect that out.
How do you feel then about like the world?
Yeah.
Because there's always some fuck shit going on.
Yeah, no, it's horrible shit that go on, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the world is for real, is a fucking is unforgiving.
Yeah. Does it like, because I've seen you post about like the Palestine shit, obviously, which is insane. I mean, it's the kind of thing that like anyone alive right now will be like, will unfortunately like get asked about it from their children. Like their kids will ask them like, what the fuck happened? Like, why didn't y'all, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you have, you know what I mean? You're coming from this place of like, oh, I have children and I'm like seeing all the time. I'm curious, like, I don't know how that weighs on, and also like being an artist, there's something so, and again, I know not everybody feels like that, but like, there's something that feels so unfair about like, hey, like I'm promoting my show and then there's stuff,
and to think about that, bro, is like I just feel disgusted for real. Like that's really what it come down to, bro. Like sometimes I don't understand people who don't feel disgusted with the I feel like with the spoils of war that we are so gracefully handed to, you know? And it's fucked up to see, and then to still have to operate, like, and sometimes you feel helpless, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do? And but there's a lot we could be doing too.
Of course, yeah. I mean, and obviously, like it's never. I don't want to say that it's never on people individually. There are obviously much larger things that are always at play, like when some crazy shit is going on in the world. But it's it does speak again to this like the crazy urge to make things in a world that is constantly like doing things to like stop people from just being you know what I mean? Yeah, there's this very clear
of like living off of that, like, you know what I'm saying? Where there's like there's people can't even buy shit right now.
Yeah. There is a
dying of famine.
No, there are like two extremes, and they are always like butting heads.
Think about it too, like the art world is very like luxurious part of the world. You know what I'm saying? So like, not saying every space, but we've been in some spaces that are very like money ain't nothing. You know, so to think of how people operate like that while on not too, you know what I'm saying, other side of the planet, there's people that's living in constant fear.
Mhm.
That's a crazy reality. And then you think about it, if you walk down the street, you walk into a drug infested neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like these the world we have to survive in. We gotta navigate it the right way because there is like a stay in line type shit. You know what I mean? Where in a sense, yeah, that shit going on, but you still gotta go to your
Yeah, I mean,
job
yeah, I
tomorrow
have
morning.
to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to eat,
Yeah.
and I
You
need
can't
to.
miss work
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
You miss work, you missing a car payment, you miss a couple car payments. All right, now they trying to repo your shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. And it's like you're just so blessed to be born here, bro. Because you
Oh yeah.
you fuck around and be born over there.
Oh, of course. And over there is like so many other places.
No,
You know
for
what I mean?
real,
Like
like,
it's
it's-
very easy to be on a different
Yeah.
side of
And
all
so
that.
with that, it's like, all right, what are you doing with your energy? You know what I'm saying? Your time.
Yeah. I mean, there. I think again to have any of the problems that we have or talk about,
Yeah.
super fortunate. And I think with that, like there has to come a degree of like appreciation for like the problems that you do have. You
No,
know,
for real, man.
um,
Because yeah, I don't know. I can't even imagine. For real.
it's crazy. It's great. And like it's again it feels like cheesy and overly cliche to say that like I think that is where art matters, you know, is
Yeah.
like it's in that ability to go past what an individual can do, you know, realistically. Like you think about
No, that's real.
like some random guy in his room making a song and it's like that shouldn't be able to like do
Bring people
anything,
together.
but it does, right?
Yeah.
Like when at its best it goes past what any one person can do, you know. Yeah, it's hard.
No, that shit tough, bro. It's heavy.
It's yeah.
But it needs to be speaking about.
Oh,
shit,
I mean,
like, that's real. It's
well,
like,
it's also just it not yes it needs to be spoken about. I almost feel too like it's weird when it isn't, you know. And
yeah, like
and
it's,
people have their like, you know, they make their posts on social media and stuff, but again I'm talking like in person, like with other people, like you know, you never
Yeah.
go out and nobody's like, what do you think about, you know what I mean?
right. They're not trying to talk about shit like that.
No, I mean, you know,
I'd be the motherfucker to be like, nah, bro. Like,
I mean, because
right.
why would you? No one wants
or at
to
least
have
let
to
me
talk about that
let me
stuff.
challenge you a little bit. What
Of
you talking
course.
about? You know
Of
what I'm
course.
saying? So
Yeah.
because I feel like that too. Like people just, I don't know. People just cool with just accepting information.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's easy and preferable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A lot of times, like it feels better to ignore some shit than to kind of try to like
Yeah, and
deal with it.
I was saying like some of the posts that they originally made were like false or some shit. So it's like too, if that's true, then the I would say the strike back for what the supposed, you know what I'm saying, was just so
Of
like
course.
heinous
Of course.
that so yeah.
It stuff like that. Like I'm always interested talking to you about because, like, I mean, you know, in terms of like the history and lifespan of us working together, like on art, which is funny. Like I just the first computer that like I got from Bagley way back in the day and shit that I like edited everything on. I was like going through and seeing what was on there. It was like the cover that we shot where you're like walking on top of the like Bagley.
Yeah, the dirt session.
Yeah, all like, you know, I'm seeing all this old stuff, like very like trip down memory lane shit. But you know, like when we did the Stop Trying to Hit Me thing,
Yeah.
like you've always, you know, you have the like chip on your shoulder that I think, like, again, someone who has an appreciation for the fact that like they get to live the life that they live, because you are just so very aware that like not everybody from the hood gets to like make art or gets to like pursue their interests, or you know what I mean, or live to have a family, you know what I mean, like, and all that's like very real and serious, but I always appreciate like that you have that level of seriousness, because I don't think I think a lot of other people take it for granted,
Yeah,
like
man.
getting to be an artist. You know,
I think just growing up the way I did, you know what I'm saying, like made me very serious. Sometimes I can't, like sometimes it's like too much, like it's like bro, come on, you feel me? Like, but then sometimes I'm like, bro, I can't slip, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the big thing is like seeing how, and I think too, like I've been in events where it's like I could have died, you feel me? So being in that shit make you feel like, hey bro, they take nothing for granted for real. So yeah, man. I feel I'm just very appreciative of everything, even the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
with the like with that appreciation,
yeah,
what's the stuff that you're most proud of that you've been doing recently or in general? But like I know you're working on a lot of shit. I know you've been working on a lot of shit. What's the stuff that you're like, that felt like I made the most of the time or the opportunity or the skill set. You know what I mean?
Man, I think the nonstop shit is pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like I took it to Milwaukee, to Toledo, just meeting people and just going. Like I think this been the best thing so far. Obviously my music and the painting. And just bringing people together been the big thing for me. Just keep on doing this and learning how to have crazy conversations with people and people collaborate and meet each other. That I think is crazy to me. And to have a great time, play some music. Yeah, so that's really
what was the, because I didn't get to go. I didn't go with you for when you were taking the show around. What was that like hitting some other parts of the Midwest? As a person who's like, you've been overseas, you know what I mean?
But I think it's super dope, and just going overseas help us realize like we could just do this here, and we need to be doing this shit here, and we need to go different places and connect with people and build that relationship. Because who knows, the next time I'm out in Milwaukee, you know, the 30 people that are at my show could turn into 70, 100, you know, and just very organically building the movement. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like just jumping out there and doing it, you know, and figuring that out.
And there's also like the fun thing that I think happens whenever you travel, which is like, oh, we're the same. You know what I mean? Like that realization that however close or far somewhere is, it's always closer almost. You know what I mean? Like it's like, no, like we're all just kind of doing the same shit. You know what I mean? Like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They're all just trying to like make something, find people, you know? And if you have the courage to like just set it up to make the trip or whatever, like it get you know, like you said, like it gets paid back to you, like whatever you're willing to like put out there.
Yeah, man, it's just jumping out there, man. So I tell everybody, but we're gonna say it here on the podcast. When I had figured out that the bus from Amsterdam to London was $50, I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, like what is it like back home then? You know, and it's 25, but I'll rent a car. You know, so you can rent a car off of like Turo or something, and for $100, and be gone. Good mileage, good gas. Do the show, come right back. But it's just jumping out there and having the willingness to do that.
Yeah, that's and I've always like, again, you know, the thing that I think I can always like attribute to you and like cannot compliment you on enough is that just the willingness to fucking do some shit, you know, like I think that's what separates people, you know.
Man, I don't know, man, just do that shit if you love it, you feel me, like, and train for it, you know what I'm saying?
I want to talk about, there's one thing that I have to first inquire to what degree we can talk about and then talk about it. I want to talk about the project. Okay. But like, can we? What are you? You know, like.
Yeah, man. It's damn. It's like So the album's called D.
Yeah. I've heard this album. I've known you for a long time. I've heard a lot of your music. And it does feel like, again, I feel like in the past few years, like your visual art is the thing that you've kind of been doing a lot, and I've seen evolve in a lot of different ways. And then this album to me feels like the biggest evolution of like, musically, like what you've been doing, which is super exciting.
It's really just me jumping out with an open heart. So everybody, like my mom and everybody that's real close to me, calls me D. And my real name is Damasio, for those who don't know. And they think it's a stage name, so. But yeah, for those who don't know, they call me D-E-E. And this is really just being like the same person I'd be if I was with my family, you know what I mean? And just being very honest in who I am and where I'm from and what makes me myself. So it's dope, man. I think it's like a roller coaster of emotions. And it's a good body of work. It's some good raps, man. Some good beats too. Like it's a real vibe. And I think just doing me. For a lot of this record, I'm not writing none of this down. I'm sitting at home and I'm just recording myself and I'm just like being as free form as I can be. So it's an evolution of that too. It's just in my writing. It's no, that shit it's very like I was playing it yesterday. It's just like it's tough.
It's good. It's good. And I think even calling it a body of work is such a good way to phrase it. Because again, I think you can make a project. I think you can make songs that doesn't make them like one cohesive piece or one like entity, but that it's like really cohesive. It's really like, I don't know, man. I was really obviously like just even if I didn't know you, like just third party outside looking in, I'm like, oh, this is dope. But then of course, as someone who knows you, I'm like, this is phenomenal. Like this is awesome.
It's very good, bro. It's like good music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I feel like I've been working a long time to just really make just good music. And I think this is a good just step in doing that.
How long were you working on everything? Like what was that timeline loosely?
It's been over, I'll say 2 years.
Yeah. That's like a great amount of time to really put into something.
Yeah. You know? And I recorded some of it in Paris, so it's like it has some of that, and it's just really just an organic project, you know. Yeah. Some good ass features on it too.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So what's like? Because this isn't out. A lot of people don't know this exists, and it's coming, and all that stuff will, and I'm very happy to have played a part in that stuff.
No, for real. The cover and shit was done by Medium and them. Yeah. You already know that shit's fire.
It was great. It was fun. It's very exciting to be a part of that. But I'm just so excited for people to start getting some of that and like getting to experience that, because it really it feels very like, it feels like a milestone. Like
it feels like me, you know what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
I feel like it's just like the how I'm goofy sometimes, how I just be rapping, like saying some bullshit sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like it's having a good time, and I think like it's just a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a really good piece of work, and I mean, we'll be annoying about it when it's like out and telling people to listen to it. But I just I was so curious just how all of that stuff came together. And dude,
the way I'm gonna roll it out too is like the album drops. You could get the album in vinyl in May, right? And then but when the vinyl drops, only the first song of the album will be released. So every 2 weeks, a new song is gonna be released. So it allows me to push the project for it's 13 songs, so that's 26 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm just constantly putting out content that's promoting this project.
There's also like, because I was gonna, when you said like it's a body of work and stuff like that, it feels very much like a mosaic, like a thing made of all these little pieces of like you and your life, and of just like different musical genres and inspiration. You know what I mean? Like you piece together this picture. And I think like even the release fits that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, no, we're gonna like little by little, like sit on this, and then you'll get the
Yeah.
rest, and then sit on this, and then we just kind of keep going from there. Yeah, man, I'm so excited.
Thank
I'm
you,
so-
man. No, I appreciate you being a part of it. Too.
Yeah. I mean, that's an honor and the least that I could do. What fuck else do you want people to know? What else do you want them to check out?
Man,
What else do you want them to pull
this
up
was
to?
a crazy conversation. I fuck with this. I know I really do. So just know I got an album coming out, and I just got music coming out. A lot of music coming out.
Yeah.
I just been dropping consistently every 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Called the Nonstop. Is called the Non-Tape. Non is an acronym for Now or Never. For those who don't know. And just stay tuned, man. I'm just in a mode right now where I'm letting everything go, and I'm just going full throttle.
Yeah.
So,
pull up to a show.
Yeah,
Buy a painting.
Pull up to the Nonstop show. Rap your heart out.
Yeah.
Champion local artists. Get with me for a mural or painting, and ultimately, though, the most importantly is push yourself. Boom, you feel me?
My God.
Yeah.
Easy. Beautiful.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Blessings to all. Peace and love. Good
Beautiful. Amazing. Great job.
Yeah.